Have you ever read a character and thought, this person needs therapy, not a sequel? Or watched a movie and realized the real villain isn't society, it's unresolved childhood trauma? Welcome back to Theory That Doesn't Make You Cry, the only series where your emotional damage becomes academic knowledge. And today's episode is on psychoanalytic criticism, the theory that looks at literature and says, interesting, but tell me about your childhood. And now let's see what is psychoanalytic criticism. Psychoanalytic criticism is based on the idea that human behavior is driven by unconscious mind. In literature, this means characters are not fully rational, desires are hidden, motivations are repressed, trauma leaks out in strange ways. This theory believes that texts, like humans, say one thing, mean another, and reveal more than they intend. A psychoanalytic critic doesn't ask what happens in the story. He asks, why is this character behaving like this? And now let's talk about Sigmund Freud, the man, the myth, and the couch. Let's meet the founding father of literary overthinking, Sigmund Freud. Freud believed the mind has three parts: id, which is primitive, instinctual, wants pleasure now, and like a toddler with no self-control. And then ego, which is rational, negotiator, tries to balance reality and desire, and basically the stressed middle manager. And then we have superego, moral police, social rules, guilt generator, sounds suspiciously like your parents. Most characters are dramatic because these three are constantly fighting. And now we come to the key Freudian concepts. And here is the psychoanalytic toolkit you'll use in literature. The unconscious, hidden desires and fears that control behavior. Repression, painful thoughts pushed out of awareness, but they return in dreams, slips, madness, or violence. Dreams. Freud said dreams are the royal road to unconscious. In literature, dreams reveal truth. Oedipus complex. Child's unconscious desire for the opposite sex parent. And rivalry with the same sex parent. Yes, Freud went there. And defense mechanisms: denial, projection, displacement, sublimation. Basically, emotional survival hacks. And now let's see some funny real-life examples. You get angry at your friend and you shout at your sibling instead. Freud smiles in the corner and says, "Ah yes, displacement. You insist you're fine while clearly not fine." And Freud says, classic repression. You judge others for the exact flaw you secretly have. Freud, projection. Please lie down on the couch. And now we have literary examples. Let's psychoanalyze literature. Hamlet, inaction, obsession with mother, anger at uncle. Freud, unresolved Oedipal tension. Macbeth, ambition, guilt, hallucinations, superego pushing the ego. And the yellow wallpaper, repressed emotions, forced domesticity, and madness as resistance. And some modern cinema. Villains with tragic backstories equals to unresolved trauma plus repression and instant psychoanalytic reading. And now let's go beyond Freud, Lacan and others. The later thinkers complicated Freud. First, Jacques Lacan. He says, language shapes the unconscious, introduced the mirror stage. Identity forms through misrecognition. The unconscious is structured like a language. And then we have Jung, who talks about collective unconscious archetypes like hero, shadow, mother, trickster, and shared symbols across cultures. Psychoanalysis evolved, but anxiety remained constant. And next we have UGC NET Essentials. For NET, remember key figures: Freud, unconscious, id, ego, superego; Lacan, mirror stage, language; and Jung, archetypes, collective unconscious. And key terms: repression, Oedipus complex, dream symbolism, defense mechanisms, and unconscious desire. And NET questions love, match theorist with concept, identify Freudian readings, apply psychoanalysis to a text, and Lacan versus Freud differences. And in this section we'll do a core metaphor. Think of literature like an iceberg. The visible story is the tip, the unconscious meaning is underwater, bigger, darker, and more dangerous. Psychoanalysis teaches us to look below the surface. And finally we come to the conclusion. And that was psychoanalytic criticism for you. The theory that doesn't make you cry, but explains why you are crying in the first place. It teaches us characters are not rational. Desire drives narrative. Trauma shapes behavior, and texts reveal what they try to hide. And in next episode, we leave the couch and enter the classroom of power, prisons and discipline. Yes, New Historicism and Foucault are coming next. And until next time, goodbye and thank you.